Alrighty, good afternoon everybody. Thank you for joining me on the Over the Humps show. I am your host as always, Christopher Humphers. Let's just jump right into it. I'm going to move on to the NBA world. Last night, the Los Angeles Clippers and the Dallas Mavericks played in their second game of a up to 7 game series. The Clippers ended up losing 127 to 121 last night. The big question here is, are the Clippers in trouble down 2-0? So, it's no surprise or any secret that I'm a Lakers fan, and clearly I hate the Clippers for very good reasons, especially because Kawhi Leonard and Paul George both screwed us over, but, forgive them, let go. It's not looking good for them. It's really not. Kawhi didn't play his best game. From what I know, Paul George is playing fine. The role players, not doing very much. I'm not saying the series is over, but it ain't looking good. And the Clippers invested a lot of money into this roster. If they get knocked out in the first round by Dallas, you gotta think it's just time to blow it up, and you wonder if Kawhi and Paul George are even gonna stay. They both have an opt-out clause in their contract. So I wouldn't be surprised if things hit the fan and they both end up dipping. You never know. I don't think it's over. I think they will end up winning a couple games, but if you want my gut feeling prediction, I say they lose this game in 7 games. I say 4-3. Dallas is looking good right now. Luka Doncic on fire. So, I'm not going to lie. I want to see them fail. I'm a nice dude, but screw the Clippers. Anyways, moving on to subject number 2, keeping it in the NBA. Anthony Davis bounce back game. So, game 1 of the Lakers-Suns series did not go very well for the Lakers, especially Anthony Davis in particular. Davis had probably one of his worst games of the season, if not his very worst game. And he admitted after the game it was his fault that they lost. He said he takes full responsibility, that he'll come back better. Boy, did he come back better. 34 points, 10 rebounds, 7 assists. Lakers ended up winning last night. AD looks back on top. I'm biased, but if I'm going to take a guess, I think the Lakers could end up winning the series. I'm going to go 4-2 Lakers. Moving on to subject number 3, the Brooklyn Nets. I hate this team. I'm not a huge fan of Kevin Durant. I'm not a huge fan of James Harden. Not a huge fan of Kyrie Irving. Isn't it funny that they're all on the same team now, coincidentally? But I will admit, this is the only team in the NBA that I'm scared of for my Lakers. These three have barely even played together very much. I think it's 10 or 11 games they've actually played together. Oh, man, but they are so freaking hard to stop. They're destroying a really solid Boston Celtics team right now. They're up 2-0. I think there's a good chance they might end up sweeping them. I don't think anyone in the East could stop Brooklyn right now. The only 2 teams I think would have a chance would be the Milwaukee Bucks or the Philadelphia 76ers. I just don't think either one of them has enough to take down Brooklyn. I think there's only one team in the NBA right now that has any chance of stopping the Nets, and it's the Lakers. Is that biased? No. Lakers are a pretty damn good team. We're the defending champions. I'm not saying the Lakers are going to beat them. I haven't really decided on if I think they can win that series or not, but I think it's going to come down to Lakers and Nets in the very end. I just don't see anybody in the East being able to stop Kyrie, Durant, and James Harden. That's got to be one of the best threes that's ever been assembled, and there's been quite a few good ones. All right, let's transition to the NFL real quick. Julio Jones, his future in Atlanta. So a couple days ago on Undisputed, Shannon Sharp actually called Julio Jones because the rumors are going around that Julio wants out. He wants to be traded. Shannon Sharp straight up called him, asked him, where do you want to play next year? What's going on here? And Julio made it pretty damn clear. He's done with the Falcons. There's no going back. And I believe him. I don't think he's going to be a Falcon by the beginning of this season. I got my hopes up a tiny bit because Julio got caught at an airport wearing a Dallas Cowboys sweater, and I thought that was pretty peculiar. We don't really need a wide receiver. We have a pretty good receiving core. It's still intriguing, though. Julio's a Hall of Famer. I mean, but Julio kind of trashed us on Undisputed. He said he wants to win, and he doesn't want to play for the Cowboys, implying that we can't win games. Whatever. I don't know where he's going. From what I've been reading recently, it's down to the New England Patriots and the Tennessee Titans. I hope he goes to Tennessee. I don't want to see him go to New England. I know they don't have Brady anymore, but Belichick's the best coach of all time. I don't think the Patriots are going to be down for very long. They will be back. Tennessee would be interesting. Put him with A.J. Brown. It's a good 1-2 combo. You got Derrick Henry. You got a solid quarterback in Ryan Tannehill. I think it's a good spot for him. Other teams that would make some sense, the Colts possibly, Baltimore Ravens maybe. And a team that I would really love to see trade for him, Green Bay Packers. Not going to happen. We don't even know what's going to happen with Aaron Rodgers, so I highly doubt they're going to make a trade for Julio. But hey, who knows, maybe if they make that trade, Rodgers ends up staying. You never know. And we're going to transition completely off of sports onto our next topic, because I did mention in my first show that I'm not going to be exclusively just talking sports. It's just going to take up majority of the runtime. So the first trailer for the Marvel Studios film Eternals, which comes out in November, came out the other day. And it looks pretty damn good. It looks a lot different from every other Marvel movie that's come out in the last, 5-10 years. It looks very unique. I don't know much about the Eternals from the comic books. They're pretty obscure, not very popular characters. But Marvel has pretty much proven that they can make a movie out of anything at this point in time. They have my full trust. The trailer looked very interesting. There's a little bit of controversy going on right now, though, because in the trailer, they mentioned something along the lines of, we were in the shadows this whole time, we never interfered until now, and everybody's like, what the hell? Why didn't you interfere when Thanos snapped his fingers and wiped out half the universe? So the movie's going to have to put some kind of great explanation for why they didn't help then. If they don't explain that, it doesn't make any freaking sense. You would think that that would be the one time they would interfere and help out. But I guess we'll find out when the movie comes out. And that is pretty much it. First of all, I just want to apologize. I did mention last week that the show should come out every Wednesday. I was out of town for a little bit. Schedule got kind of mixed up. Little things here and there. Now, moving forward, it should come out every Wednesday. Also, just want to say, if you haven't already, follow me on Instagram at @OverTheHumps. Follow me on Twitter at @OverTheHumps. If you want, you can follow my personal accounts on Twitter at Chris Humphers, ChrisHumphers. Instagram, same thing. And that will do it for today. Next week we have more content coming. Should be a longer video. And that'd be about it. But before I sign off, I just want to say thank you to my family, my friends, and all the good people of the world. Hope you have a wonderful rest of your week. Peace out.